Hello, dear friends, and welcome to the 2nd of January. New Year's over and it went well, and I have an admission. I'm going to take you outside in a minute to show you something that I've done. Um, but first, I'm going to just turn you around and show you my new sofa. Look at that. That is how my room is now. The most wonderful sofa, and it fits so much better into the room than the red sofa that some of you saw was there. I'm not sure about the table still. I'm gonna live with it for about a week and we'll see if it's smart. I would like one that is a bit lower, but it is not allowed to be so low so that it comes into a golden retriever tail whacking height for coffee cups and stuff. So maybe it's a good idea that it has this height. She's not knocking anything down as of yet. And yeah, but I love it. And that's just one little thing that I wanted to show you. That's how I live now. I'm very happy and pleased with it. But what I'm gonna tell you and show you today and admit to has to do with beliefs, with religions, with faith. And in order to show you that I admit to be a little bit religious, actually, although I have said that I'm not religious at all, I kind of am. And I have to give you a little bit of backstory. And to do so, I'm going to show you some paintings that a very well known painter, artist who lives up here and who has become my friend. I'm so lucky to come into his circles. His name is Hesse Bredenberg. And he paints very naturalistic paintings of mostly of the Smålandic winter, and set back a few years when farm life was the way of life, and where you had the horses, not yet the tractors, horses and pigs and cows on each farm or little homestead. And what we have there is Nissen, the gnome. That is the kind of religious belief here in this region in Scandinavia of the primal forces, of nature's forces in relation to us humans, because we need to put ourselves in relation to everything that happens, because we are thinking, self-conscious beings. And that's how all religion has come about, that we cannot fathom that things can be happening around us without us having some kind of significance in it. Because if it's just happening anyway without relation to us, then our lives are unimportant and of no meaning. And we don't want that. We want to make sense of things. So we put different gods in different situations. And that's what I mean by I'm not religious. I don't abide to the monotheistic religions, the religions that have now become very much world spread religions. I also do not subscribe to when we had plural gods, either in the Nordic mythology with Odin and Thor, or the Greek or Roman mythology. I see it as a human way, sociologically, historically, mentally, psychologically, to figure out, to have our conscience put out somewhere and have a dooming father, has it become, but a dooming God that kind of deals consequences out, whether we are good or bad. We like to be good, but we also like to put our conscience out here so that we have a common force that kind of can decide a little bit about the consequences it has if we are good or bad. Hesse makes wonderful, wonderful paintings. And I'm not sure if you can see this very well. I guess if you pause it, you could enhance it on your device where you watch things. But this is a very naturalistic picture of how it looked here in the 1950s or around 1900 or something. But if you look very carefully, there's a Nisse there. Going from the stables, I believe those are the stables where the animals are, and over to the barn where there will be all the crops down here, and there are some Nisses over there, and that of course is the main house, and the family is on their way home. And this one is called, I'm sorry, I'll just have to turn it and see the name of it. It's called The Magic of Surplus. Making sense. The magic of surplus is probably that this is around Christmas time, and December is the month where we butcher the pig, the big hog, and they are preparing all the meat and they are putting it away. They are smoking it, they are salting it. Look, there are gnomes, Nisse, up there in the barn. The Nisse is a good friend of the farm. Whatever the farm is, this one is a mill, and this is called Primal Force, this picture. Up here there are lots of waters streaming, and there are lots of old water mills, mostly used as sawmills because there's a lot of lumber here. Of course, it's in the middle of the forest, and they were building and needed a lot of timber and lumber. So these were sawmills, and this is called Primal Force, and the Nisse is right there. Maybe there's one up in the window as well, I'm not sure. And I'm going to show you my favorite. I've been waiting with that for last minute. This is my favorite painting of Hesse's, and it's called The Midnight Hour. And I'm sure that this midnight hour is the Christmas Eve midnight hour. The fox is here, and you can see Nissen's footprints. He has been talking to the fox because, of course, Nisse can talk to all the animals. Nisse are, of course, in a human form, but they're half our size and they're very, very old. And that's what they look like originally, with a gray hat and grayish red clothes, walking down towards his farm, because actually the Nisse owns the farm. We just live in them. It's his farm. He's been living there for hundreds of years. And he's going down to tend to the animals and the horses. Now, what I have been used to all my life, because my father was from the country, is to feed the Nisse every Christmas Eve. You have to keep on a good foot with your Nisse. You have to respect it. It's normally a he. My Nisse, of course, is female. She lives down here. She's 327 years old. And the Nisse is a creature who is very mild, but has a temper. They can tease you, and that's okay, because they are little mischievous creatures, so they like to play tricks on you. And if you go down to the barn, to the stables, and something is misplaced, and why are all the saddles and all the gear for the horses suddenly hanging on that wall? when I hung it on that wall. That's Nissen. That's Nissen. And you keep on a good foot with them, and when you do, they help you. If you disrespect them, they don't tease you anymore. They get angry because they do have a temper, and they punish you. Of course they do. That's what your conscience does. They punish you. And back in the day, it could be very severe punishment. If you were a real skimpy, stingy, not very nice person, not caring about your neighbors or your family or your animals, especially if you were mistreating your animals, the Nisse got really mad at you. And they could actually, the smaller consequences were that they made the cow's milk, go sour, or they made the horses go giddy and not willing to work. And in severe consequences, they could burn down the place. So, of course, you can explain everything to say that, oh man, the lightning struck the barn, and of course, there was a fire, and it wasn't because of the Nisse, but it was nature's forces. But in that day, yes, it was the Nisse. I'm sorry, I just got distracted. There was a car backing into my driveway, but they were just turning around. Sorry, I'm back with you now again. Yeah, nobody comes to visit. They were just using my driveway. So the Nisse was the conscience, actually. So you did good with your neighbors, you did good with your animals, and the Nisse helped you through the hard times of winter. I'm going to take you outside and show you now what I have done. I will just pause you, and then magically we will be down at my shed. Just a minute. We're outside, and it is very beautiful out here. I'm just going to turn you around and see that we have had a little bit of snow. There's snow on the dog's nose. Yeah. And you have a stick. Go get the stick. And out here, I of course have this shed. Every Christmas evening, you would feed the Nisse porridge and beer. And the rice porridge would be with cinnamon sugar and, most importantly, the big knob of butter. And this year, I simply forgot. I normally do that. I put porridge and beer out to my Nisse. Mostly, I have done it over there. You can see behind the big rock, there's a little bit of a red roof. That's the old blacksmith where this house was connected to. The blacksmith, he lived here, and the blacksmith with the fire was over there. And normally I put it over there for her. But this year I simply forgot. And I got a bit scared because I don't want to lose her. I need her help. We all need help sometimes. And that's where our religious beliefs come in. So what I did was I asked for her, I asked her to forgive me. And I put out for her instead some risalamang with a little spoon in it, and a glass of Glück, which was what we had. So there's no beer, but there was the Glück. And I put it out for her, and she hasn't been here taken any of it. Now, when I made the risalamang, I thought to myself, as a person, you don't have to put those expensive Amarena cherry syrup on it because you want that for yourself. And then I got scared. I said, of course I do. So she has Amarena cherries in it. Cannot be stingy when it comes to your Nisse. I guess I'm religious somehow. Not just not with the monotheistic religions, but I do have a feeling of it's not only my conscience and trying to be good. I need to have my little Nisse helping me be a good person. Be a good person too. Say hi to your Nisse. Don't forget the knob of butter. See you on the next one. Bye bye.